Hi, I'm the MiniReviewer, and to kick off my new series I'm going to try and do something a little different and review a book. The novel I have chosen is Ken Follett's World Without End. It's the sequel to the recently adapted to TV Pillars of the Earth. Now, I haven't read Pillars, which puts me at something of a disadvantage, but I did watch the TV series, and I'm kind of a fan of medieval fiction, so I'm used to these sorts of novels. This 1,237-page epic follows the lives of 4 citizens of the fictional town of Kingsbridge. Set against the backdrop of King Edward III's reign, we see the effects of the 100 Years' War and the Black Death on the lives of ordinary people, combined with a long-standing battle for power between the merchants and the clergy of Kingsbridge. Our main characters are Merthin and Ralph Fitzgerald, 2 sons of a disgraced knight. The former is a kind-hearted man who wishes to receive recognition for being an outstanding builder, and anyone who's watched or read Pillars of the Earth will see that sounds fairly familiar to Jack Builder. Whilst the other brother is a brutish man who wishes to regain his family's honour and position among the nobility, also similar to William of Shiring from Pillars. There's also Caris, the anachronistic on-off girlfriend of Merthin who wishes to be an independent woman. Also there's Gwenda, a more traditional girl who wishes to escape the poverty of her parents and raise a family of her own. To add to this we have a multitude of scheming clergymen and various town craftsmen and traders. There are 2 main positive aspects of this novel, the characters and the historical background. The main focus of the novel are the characters and their various goals and trouble, and Follett has managed to juggle having a number of prominent characters well, and most of the main cast are very believable as real people, with realistic goals and desires. To add to this, the descriptions of historical events and situations is done very well, with accurate descriptions of the style of warfare in France, including the Battle of Crécy, with accurate descriptions of the landscape devastation tactics of the English and specific events, whilst also capturing the apocalyptic mood of the Black Death. Unfortunately, these historical highlights occur far too late in the novel, only beginning 650 pages in, which is of course the standard length of many novels, even quite long for some, and there could have been a lot more focus on the 100-Year War. To add to this, the novel doesn't really subscribe to the usual formula of character establishment and development, followed by the build-up of tension towards the climactic finale, but rather focusing every 10 chapters or so on a specific time span within each character's life, and establishing a problem or opportunity that must be overcome or earned before jumping to the next time span. The problem being that not only does it feel lazily written, simply jumping ahead every 7 years whenever Follett seems to have written himself into a corner or run out of ideas, but also the novel doesn't really build up to anything, and I was disappointed with the lack of a particularly dramatic ending. The book was simply too long, and the reader is not rewarded for sticking through with it until the end. Another issue is, although the characters are consistent within their own storylines and are believable, there is one character who is consistently annoying and completely unbelievable due to her acting far too much like a modern-day person, and that is Caris. The character is so out of keeping with the idea of a 14th century woman. Not only does she claim to want to be a doctor, doubt and continually agonize the church and members of the clergy, which back then was a capital crime, but she even goes so far as to argue with one of the most powerful English monarchs in history right in front of his men. For a character to act in this manner in the 14th century would simply have been unheard of, and it weakens the story. To add to this, the Black Death was a little too convenient for the characters for my liking. I would have liked it to have been a bit more tragic, with some more important characters kicking the bucket. Unfortunately, this weakens the whole Black Death plotline, because it makes it feel not only artificial, but it loses the hard-hitting drama, despite it being one of the worst tragedies in human history. Thank you for listening, I'm the MiniReviewer. Next few reviews should be video game ones once again. I'm thinking of keeping the medieval theme going, and I'm going to go for Medieval 2 Total War, the stainless steel mod. Thank you for listening.